All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the Human Resources Committee on June 13th at 4 o'clock p.m. I'll call this meeting to order and give me just a sec. I lost my agenda. Apologies. If we can just have a brief moment of silence and then we'll begin. Amen. All right, let's move on. Do I have a motion to approve the May 16th, 2024 minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. No, there isn't any old. Oh, hi, Councilmember Bowden.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
How are you?
Doing great.
All right, I don't see any old business on the agenda, so new biz, we'll just move right on to the May staffing and retention report.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone. Hi, hope everyone's doing well. Heather is off today. We're in vacation season now. So Jennifer is going to be sharing her screen with us today, and I will be going over the May staffing numbers with you. There's not a huge change, but a little differences here and there. Jennifer, can you go ahead and start sharing your screen, and let's look at the sworn fire and police slide first. Can you see it? Yes, if you can just go to the first, the sworn fire and police slide. Okay. All right, guys, there's not very much difference here. Really, it's almost just like a rounding error, because when you do the report just month to month, there's often not a huge change. But as you can see, we are, at 89% for fire and 90% for police right now. So that's pretty much the same as it was last month. So kind of pretty much holding steady with the fire and police staffing levels. And now we look at where we are with non-sworn staffing update. And what we do here is we give you what happened during the month of May, because we're completely through the month of May now. So we are looking at what the vacancy rate is as of the end of May. So you can see the change from last month. Either no change. In some departments, we closed some vacancies. But in that last column, we thought it would be helpful you also look at kind of what's going on now, like offers we have in progress, temps we have helping to fill some of the void for these vacancies, as well as, some positions we've had start in June since we ran this report at the end of May. So again, no significant difference here, but I think we're gaining headway. Traffic and transportation, you can see the parking enforcement division continues to be somewhat problematic, but we do have some new starts already this month. So hoping that number will improve when we come to you with our report next month. Does anybody have any questions about this slide? Okay. All right.
What's the vacancy in planning, preservation, and sustainability?
Oh, the new vacancy, Jennifer, do you have that with the total list of position vacancies in front of you?
Yeah, it's on another screen. Hold on just a second for me.
I'm trying to pull it up as well. I believe it's the coordinator position.
And then when we say close the vacancies, just so I have the vernacular down, does that mean that we've filled the vacancy or that we're just not planning on filling it?
No, that means we have hired someone for the position. We
Okay.
have filled it.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry for that. I can see where that would be a little confusing.
And I apologize, Councilmember Bowden, did you have your hand up or no?
Yes. The stormwater management, where are those? Is there one particular area where those vacancies are existing?
It's mostly in what we always refer to as the construction workers, although that's not really an accurate title. We're working on changing some of these titles, but basically that's your maintenance crews. That's usually the group that has caused, that we've had the most issues in filling those positions. But we do have 2 new June starts. But we also had 2 new vacancies during the month of May as well. But we also have 9 temporary employees who are helping to fill those positions. Those are the positions that go out and, clean the ditches, clean the storm drains. And they are, very important, especially this time of year, the growing season.
Sure. And I mean, it seems like the kind of positions that we might expect some churn in. But is nine temps typical, or are they, is that is like Matt happy with using temps? Are they working out? It seems like a reasonably good solution for that sort of labor.
We every summer, and it could be slight, the number could certainly vary and does vary, but we've always brought some temps on in the spring and summer in stormwater, because again, it is the growing season. That's when, the ditches and everything start to, they get a little more clogged up because you've got a lot more growth and vegetation. So we always bring on some number of temps in the summer, but we've got, I think that, and Lindsay might can speak to this better than me. I haven't heard any complaints about the temps we have there now. I think they're working out pretty well. It is a good solution, to a problem, that because this is just a time of year we need more people in those positions. And the positions are a little bit difficult to fill. We've traditionally had somewhat of a turnover in those positions. So again, that's one of the ones that I think with our comp study, I'm hoping they're going to really focus on that. Well, they're going to focus on all the positions, but they're going to look harder, I think, at the ones we traditionally have turnover in, to see, if there's any tweaks or adjustments that they might recommend that we make with those.
And I will add, Councilmember Bowden, that for those ditch crew, stormwater maintenance folks, we do see some of those roles convert into full-time after they've been a temporary for a little bit. And the manager really does like that a period of time to evaluate their work and give them a longer term full-time position. So it works out well, like Kay mentioned.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. And Councilmember Bowden, I have talked, I think you know how I feel about the stormwater ditches, but I have talked with Mr. Fountain and some of the other employees, and I do think, he does feel, I think, that the temps, it does really help. I think we spoke about it in a previous Public Works meeting, I think, but either way, I think we have that the vacancy money as well. So it's it's a wash, right? So it's keeping the ditches clear and keeping the employees there. And then, but then the positive is that some of those temps are converted to employees. So yes, just wanted to add that.
I appreciate that. That's great. Sounds like a great thing to be doing. So appreciate everybody who's at work on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get that answer for the planning? I couldn't hear Lindsay, so I wasn't sure if that was addressed.
Most recently it was a plan reviewer that there was a vacancy, and then back in January it was a staff architect. So I think it was the plan review position that may be reflected in that new vacancy rate that you mentioned in question in planning.
Yeah, so currently there's 3 vacancies in that department. There's 2 architects and 1 planner.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions on the staffing update? I don't see any. If you want to continue.
All right. Jennifer, if we can go to the next slide. Okay, total turnover through May of each year. And this is where we track how we're doing compared to previous years for this particular time of the year. Fire, has the turnover spiked a little bit. I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about at this point. 1.41% this time last year. Now it's 3.8. Police are much better. They were 4.85 this time last year. Now they're 1.71. So that's a fairly significant improvement. We're tracking close to the same, a little bit higher, but not even a percentage point higher. We were 4.58 this time last year for city non-sworn, and now it's 5.35. So again, not a huge change. We're tracking fairly close to what we were this time last year. And then as far as the historical trend, which what we do is based on what we're seeing this year, we anticipate where we're going to land at the end of the year. So end of 2023, fire department ended up with a 5.13% turnover. Right now they're tracking to be 8.16. Police ended up with 10.52, and they're actually tracking to be 4.44. So which is great. City non-sworn, again, not a huge difference. We ended up at 11.92% turnover end of 2023, where if things stay exactly on track the way they are, we would end up at 12.74. And of course, this is only through May, so certainly with 7 months left of the year to go, you're going to see a little fluctuation in those numbers as we go, but certainly hoping that by the end of the year, those numbers will come down even a little bit more. But overall, we're pretty pleased with the the turnover. It's certainly much better than it was when we were tracking like 2022. You can see we ended up at 19.94% turnover, and we had been we were heading toward in the mid to upper 20s. So that was starting to get to be a little worrisome. But so I feel like we've got a little better handle on the turnover. Feel like overall the staffing and the turnover has improved. So I'm pleased. And unless anybody has any questions.
Councilmember Bowden?
Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
The police seem sort of like well below historical averages for the turnover rate, which is really great to see. Do you have any thoughts about why that is, or does Chief Walker have any thoughts about, I guess, what's going right in that area?
I really don't. I don't know. I can't really. I mean, when turnover starts spiking up, we can kind of look at reasons why people are leaving. But as far as the reason they're staying, and I don't know. I have to assume there's maybe a little better overall job satisfaction there. I do think that our pay, we got in 2022, of course, at the end of that year, approved with the budget was 13.3%, 13% pay increase. And then beginning of this year, we got, almost another 6%. So I feel like we've made some really solid progress with our pay these last 2 years. And I think if we could just go a little bit further for 2025, I think we could really close that gap. And but I think we're in a good position. I think overall employees, and I think that reflects in the turnover, overall employees are happier with their total compensation.
And Kay, I think it would be good to mention, because this is a big part of the compensation study, Councilmember Bowden, police have a pay progression. There are a lot of opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, Kay, in the police department to increase your salary, correct?
There are. They have, the fire and police departments have they have pay plans that we have auto steps, or what they call natural steps built in, which means the first couple of steps, they're just automatic. They don't really have to do anything for them. So we're able to get their pay up pretty quickly in those first couple of years when you're probably at most risk for losing them. Now, after that, they still have the opportunity to get pay increases, but then they have to actually do something. The career enhancement program, they have like a menu of things they can choose from that, you know, whether it's additional training, education, participating in committees, different things they can do for their own development, which helps them, but it's also a value to the department. So we award increases for that as well. So yes, they do. And we also focus very highly on education in those two departments. You know, you get a pay increase, percentage increase when you get an advanced degree. From you go from high school to associates, you know, to bachelor's to master's. It can be a significant difference in your pay. And, you know, and the city offers up to $3,000 a year in tuition reimbursement. So we'll pay for a portion, sometimes some cases maybe the entire amount for you to get your degree. And then once you get it, then you get a pay increase. So I think that that's and I think that really we have I know we do. We have the richest pay plans for our fire and police departments in the state. I'm absolutely certain of that. So
Yes.
that definitely helps.
Absolutely. So yeah, so Councilmember Bowden and other members of the committee, I mean, that's certainly my hope with the compensation study and your help, you know, that we look at that and we see that could be a potential reason why their turnover rate is so low. So anyway, just wanted to point that out as well.
Yes, and while we're on that topic, I'll just add that, you know, that is my hope, is that we can at least move toward, you know, some type of pay progression plan for non-sworn. I think that is very, very much needed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So then we'll move on to our recruitment updates, and I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay to kind of just hit some highlights of what's been going on in the recruitment division.
Perfect. Thanks, Kay. So I try to highlight just some different areas that I'm putting a little bit more emphasis on to fill the the vacancy ratios, or knowing seasonally what areas need more help. Our parking enforcement, of course, with tourism season upon us, working on getting candidates reviewed for hire. We do have 3 new starts in June. Continue to work with the manager there to keep an eye on the pipeline of candidates moving. Stormwater, we are maintaining 100% fill vacancy for those maintenance workers, utilizing the temp agencies. With the turnover, that's the quickest way to keep those positions filled, while in addition starting full-time hires in addition to the temporaries. And also with the growing season with our parks department, grounds maintenance, or with our athletic fields, making sure that they're maintained for the sports and for the different events that have going on. We have 4 agency temps in those support roles as well. Overall orientation, we do orientation every other Monday. In May, we had a total of 37 new hires and additionally 10 transfers or promotions, which is great to see. In June, as of June 10th, we have had already 30 full-time, part-time, 3 transfers, and we have 3 more pending so far. I do anticipate that number to go up some for June. Summer orientation, we just wrapped up on Monday night. We had done an aquatics orientation to get our pools open in May. And then June, we welcomed the rest of the staff to run our summer camps and programs this summer for about 60 summer roles. So a room full of 15 to 18-year-olds Monday night, telling them all how to fill out an I-9 and W-4. It's always a good time. And then, of course, we're looking forward to welcoming our firefighter orientation in July. We're anticipating 45 hires from that class, so that'll be exciting as well.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Bowden, do you have a question, or is your hand still up before?
Oh, sorry, I just didn't lower it before. Thanks.
All right, anyone? Thank you.
Okay, well, that's all we have for our presentation. I did want to mention though to the group, we did have a call where we've been having biweekly calls with CBiz. Of course, that's the company, you know, that's performing the comp study for us. I don't have any actual progress to report this time, other than we have a meeting with them on July 16th. It's on our calendars, and they are going to be giving us preliminary results. So this won't be, excuse me, this won't be final, but they are going to at least share some preliminary results of what they are finding. Because of course they're doing the market analysis, the survey, they have all our data that they are working very hard to analyze. So we're very excited to get that information, to kind of see, you know, where we are as far as, you know, if we're competitive with other organizations, or, how do we stack up? And again, to get some preliminary recommendations to them about what we need to do going forward. So hopefully next meeting, I'll, maybe have more information to share about where we are with that. They had projected to have the final results by August. I don't have an exact date in August. I would guess it would be more toward the end of August, but anyway, they're making great progress, and we're very, very excited to see the results of all of this.
Yeah, wonderful. And so I believe our next HR meeting isn't until July 11th. Do I have that correct?
I think, hold on, let's see. Yes, I think you are right. I actually got confused because when Jennifer sent it out, I sent her an email and I said, aren't we supposed to be the third Thursday? But
yeah, I think I'm a little, we're all figuring it out. But so I just wanted to ask members of the committee, since that meeting is happening after our next meeting, are there any questions that you want, Kay to ask, or if anyone has any questions before that meeting, since we probably won't meet again until the hopeful August when they're going to present, hopefully, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to, reschedule our meeting. I don't know how hard that is. Difficult, but
I don't know if Brittany's on. She's probably like, no. Okay. Well, great.
I do have an ask, and again, I haven't talked to Jennifer and Brittany about this yet, but I told you that we're going to be looking at the healthcare budget. I think if our meeting is August the 8th for August, I really would like to push that to the 15th, because again, I just don't think we'll be ready by the 8th. I think that Jolene will have her numbers and be ready to present by the 15th though. So if we could possibly move that one, that would be very helpful.
Okay. Does that work for the committee? Councilmember Brady, Councilmember Bowden, Councilmember Tinkler.
What was the date on it?
Moving from the 8th to the 15th. And I'm not sure who's on from the clerk's office. I apologize.
And that was of July?
No, August. I'm sorry, August.
Let's see. Yep, that works for me.
That's perfectly fine with me. I'll be coming back from paternity leave around that time, so the later the better.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I will make sure to get with the clerk's office on that, Mrs. Cross.
Okay.
Works for me too. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, thank you for all of that wonderful information, and you and everyone there for all of your hard work and getting us some great employees. And if there is nothing else, I will move that we adjourn.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.